Ich denke, es wird auf der Party viele Kinder geben.
I think there will be a lot of children at the party. I think there will be a lot of children at the party.
Ich werde das Auto waschen, weil es schmutzig ist.
I am going to wash the car because it is dirty. I am going to wash the car because it is dirty.
Das ist das teuerste Auto, das ich je gesehen habe.
This is the most expensive car I have ever seen. This is the most expensive car I have ever seen.
Wir sollten jetzt gehen, es ist sehr spät.
We should leave now, it's very late. We should leave now, it's very late.
Gregory ist der Älteste unter den Teilnehmern.
Gregory is the oldest among the participants. Gregory is the oldest among the participants.
Seit kurzem hat seine Arbeit gut gemacht.
He has been doing his job well recently. He has been doing his job well recently.
Wie lange dauert es bis zum Fluss?
How long does it take to get to the river? How long does it take to get to the river?
Sie geben niemals Geld für Blumen aus.
They never spend money on flowers. They never spend money on flowers.
Das Datum des Weihnachtsmarktes.
The date of the Christmas market. The date of the Christmas market.
Wenn ich nach Hause komme.
When I arrive home. When I arrive home.
Serena geht jeden Morgen zur Schule.
Serena goes to school every morning. Serena goes to school every morning.
Das Personal ist sehr höflich.
The staff is very polite. The staff is very polite.
Leider habe ich meine Schlüssel zu Hause gelassen.
Unfortunately, I left my keys at home. Unfortunately, I left my keys at home.
Nick geht gerne mit seinem Hund spazieren.
Nick likes walking with his dog. Nick likes walking with his dog.
Darf ich eine Tasse Kaffee haben?
Can I have a cup of coffee? Can I have a cup of coffee?
Lass uns gemeinsam einen Film anschauen.
Let's watch a film together. Let's watch a film together.
Grace muss sich um die Mädchen kümmern.
Grace has to look after the girls. Grace has to look after the girls.
Ich reise dieses Wochenende nach München.
I'm traveling to Munich this weekend. I'm traveling to Munich this weekend.
Harry kochte in der Küche, als seine Eltern ankamen.
Harry was cooking in the kitchen when his parents arrived. Harry was cooking in the kitchen when his parents arrived.
Soll ich die Tür schließen?
Should I close the door? Should I close the door?
Dieser Ring gehört uns.
This ring is ours. This ring is ours.
Wenn Sie den Bus erwischen.
If they catch the bus. If they catch the bus.
Ich habe auch eine großartige Idee.
I have a great idea, too. I have a great idea, too.
Karl sagte mir, dass er einen Job suchte.
Carl told me that he was looking for a job. Carl told me that he was looking for a job.
Sie müssen heute nicht lernen, weil es Freitag ist.
They don't need to learn today, because it's Friday. They don't need to learn today, because it's Friday.
Die Fischers machen jeden Sommer Urlaub.
The Fishers go on holiday every summer. The Fishers go on holiday every summer.
Iss nicht, wenn du nicht hungrig bist.
Don't eat if you are not hungry. Don't eat if you are not hungry.
Es gab kein Feuer im Gebäude.
There wasn't a fire in the building. There wasn't a fire in the building.
Ich möchte einen Baum in unserem Garten pflanzen.
I would like to plant a tree in our garden. I would like to plant a tree in our garden.
Warum saßen sie auf dem Boden?
Why were they sitting on the floor? Why were they sitting on the floor?
Mein Neffe hat die Niagarafälle schon gesehen.
My nephew has already seen the Niagara Falls. My nephew has already seen the Niagara Falls.
Der Polizist, der auf dich wartet.
The police officer who is waiting for you. The police officer who is waiting for you.
Von Freitag bis Sonntag.
From Friday to Sunday. From Friday to Sunday.
Wessen Blumen sind das?
Whose flowers are these? Whose flowers are these?
Meine Söhne arbeiten im Moment an einem Projekt.
My sons are working on a project at the moment. My sons are working on a project at the moment.
Du kannst nicht auf das Gras treten.
You can't step on the grass. You can't step on the grass.
Ich habe in der örtlichen Konditorei ein Stück Kuchen gegessen.
I ate a slice of cake in the local confectionery. I ate a slice of cake in the local confectionery.
Wir können uns nicht um 7 Uhr treffen, weil ich heute beschäftigt bin.
We can't meet at 7 o'clock because I am busy today. We can't meet at 7 o'clock because I am busy today.
Sie hören regelmäßig die Wettervorhersage.
They regularly listen to the weather forecast. They regularly listen to the weather forecast.
Colette und Jans talentierte Töchter.
Colette and Jamie's talented daughters. Colette and Jamie's talented daughters.
Sie geht oft zur Bäckerei, um Brötchen oder Brot zu kaufen.
She often goes to the bakery to buy rolls or bread. She often goes to the bakery to buy rolls or bread.
Ich kaufe selten morgens ein.
I rarely do the shopping in the morning. I rarely do the shopping in the morning.
Es fing plötzlich an zu regnen.
It suddenly started to rain. It suddenly started to rain.
Bevorzugen Sie die rote oder die schwarze?
Do you prefer the red one or the black one? Do you prefer the red one or the black one?
Diese Jungs im Fitnessstudio sind sehr ungezogen.
Those boys in the gym are very naughty. Those boys in the gym are very naughty.
Jeder Lehrer ist an der Ausbildung interessiert.
Every teacher is interested in the training. Every teacher is interested in the training.
Hast du Äpfel zu Hause?
Do you have any apples at home? Do you have any apples at home?
Da ist jemand im Keller.
There is somebody in the cellar. There is somebody in the cellar.
Die Temperatur liegt über 86 Grad Fahrenheit.
The temperature is above 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature is above 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
Warte hier, bis ich aus der Drogerie zurückkomme.
Wait here until I come back from the drugstore. Wait here until I come back from the drugstore.
Ich frühstücke immer an meinem Arbeitsplatz.
I always have breakfast at my workplace. I always have breakfast at my workplace.
Bist du jemals in Italien gewesen?
Have you ever been to Italy? Have you ever been to Italy?
Dieses Buch ist aufregender als das andere Buch.
This book is more exciting than the other book. This book is more exciting than the other book.
Auch der Anwalt war nicht zufrieden.
The lawyer was not satisfied either. The lawyer was not satisfied either.
Lass die Tür offen, bitte.
Leave the door open, please. Leave the door open, please.
Jim und Cindy haben vor 2 Wochen geheiratet.
Jim and Cindy got married 2 weeks ago. Jim and Cindy got married 2 weeks ago.
Ich mag die Rosen in diesem Garten.
I like the roses in this garden. I like the roses in this garden.
Claire hat nicht viele Ohrringe in ihrer Schmuckschatulle.
Claire doesn't have many earrings in her jewelry box. Claire doesn't have many earrings in her jewelry box.
Eine Flasche Wein ist ein schönes Geschenk.
A bottle of wine is a nice gift. A bottle of wine is a nice gift.
Ich bekomme nicht oft Postkarten.
I don't often get postcards. I don't often get postcards.
Gulasch ist eine beliebte ungarische Suppe.
Goulash is a popular Hungarian soup. Goulash is a popular Hungarian soup.
Derek beginnt den Tag normalerweise mit etwas Orangensaft und 2 Eiern.
Derek usually starts the day with some orange juice and 2 eggs. Derek usually starts the day with some orange juice and 2 eggs.
Der Koch braucht mehr Mehl.
The chef needs more flour. The chef needs more flour.
Ich könnte den ganzen Tag schwimmen, aber ich muss jetzt Abendessen machen.
I could swim all day, but I must make dinner now. I could swim all day, but I must make dinner now.
Der Test war nicht so schwierig, wie wir erwartet hatten.
The test was not as difficult as we expected. The test was not as difficult as we expected.
Sophie ist alt genug, um ein Auto zu fahren.
Sophie is old enough to drive a car. Sophie is old enough to drive a car.
Beide Lkw-Fahrer haben einen Abschluss.
Both truck drivers have a degree. Both truck drivers have a degree.
Ich konnte niemanden im Wald sehen.
I could see nobody in the forest. I could see nobody in the forest.
Es gibt viele Tulpen entlang der Straße.
There are a lot of tulips along the road. There are a lot of tulips along the road.
Oliver öffnete vorsichtig die Schachtel.
Oliver opened the box carefully. Oliver opened the box carefully.
Die Soldaten erhoben ihre Schwerter.
The soldiers lifted their swords. The soldiers lifted their swords.
Ich mag Brot und Butter sehr gerne.
I like bread and butter very much. I like bread and butter very much.
Wallace backt wöchentlich Sauerteigbrot.
Wallace bakes sourdough bread weekly. Wallace bakes sourdough bread weekly.
Sie besuchen ihre Verwandten am Dienstag.
They are visiting their relatives on Tuesday. They are visiting their relatives on Tuesday.
Sally kann das Telefon jetzt nicht abheben.
Sally can't answer the phone now. Sally can't answer the phone now.
Reiten ist eine nützliche Freizeitbeschäftigung.
Horse riding is a useful free time activity. Horse riding is a useful free time activity.
Es regnet, also sollten wir nicht nach draußen gehen.
It's raining, so we shouldn't go outside. It's raining, so we shouldn't go outside.
Ich werde es dich innerhalb von 2 Wochen wissen lassen.
I'll let you know within 2 weeks. I'll let you know within 2 weeks.
Ich habe noch nicht begonnen, den Hochzeitsempfang zu organisieren.
I haven't started organizing the wedding reception yet. I haven't started organizing the wedding reception yet.
Unser Unternehmen verkauft hochwertige Produkte.
Our company sells high-quality products. Our company sells high-quality products.
Schneit es noch?
Is it still snowing? Is it still snowing?
Sie halten jede zweite Woche ein wichtiges Treffen ab.
They hold an important meeting every other week. They hold an important meeting every other week.
Die Einheimischen freuten sich über den neuen Park.
The locals were happy about the new park. The locals were happy about the new park.
Die Fenster sind gestern Nachmittag zerbrochen.
The windows were broken yesterday afternoon. The windows were broken yesterday afternoon.
Meine Taufpaten können uns nicht besuchen.
My godparents can't visit us. My godparents can't visit us.
Wenn du sie fragst, werden sie es dir sagen.
If you ask them, they will tell you. If you ask them, they will tell you.
Ich kann 2 Spinnen hinter den Stühlen sehen.
I can see 2 spiders behind the chairs. I can see 2 spiders behind the chairs.
Möchtest du eine Tortilla essen?
Would you like to eat a tortilla? Would you like to eat a tortilla?
Welchen Mantel willst du?
Which coat do you want? Which coat do you want?
Sie sehen sich nicht im Spiegel.
They don't see themselves in the mirror. They don't see themselves in the mirror.
Vielleicht ist es kälter, als ich erwartet hatte.
Perhaps it is colder than I expected. Perhaps it is colder than I expected.
Gehört dieser Führerschein dir?
Is this driver's license yours? Is this driver's license yours?
Es ist sehr schwer, es allein zu tun.
It is very hard to do it alone. It is very hard to do it alone.
Vor der Bäckerei.
In front of the bakery. In front of the bakery.
Sie läuft nie, wenn das Wetter schlecht ist.
She never runs when the weather is bad. She never runs when the weather is bad.
Sie könnten sehr müde sein.
They might be very tired. They might be very tired.
Ich höre dieses Lied seit einer Stunde.
I have been listening to this song for an hour. I have been listening to this song for an hour.
Die Besprechungsräume werden gerade gereinigt.
The meeting rooms are being cleaned right now. The meeting rooms are being cleaned right now.
Hast du gestern das Feuerwerk gesehen?
Did you watch the fireworks yesterday? Did you watch the fireworks yesterday?
Unter dem grauen Korb.
Under the gray basket. Under the gray basket.
Nach ihrem entspannenden Wochenende.
After their relaxing weekend. After their relaxing weekend.
Wir haben für meinen Cousin letzte Nacht Spaghetti gemacht.
We made spaghetti for my cousin last night. We made spaghetti for my cousin last night.
Der Kirschkuchen war sehr lecker.
The cherry pie was very delicious. The cherry pie was very delicious.
Zum Glück hatte sie keinen Herzinfarkt.
Fortunately, she didn't have a heart attack. Fortunately, she didn't have a heart attack.
Sie waren nicht da.
They weren't there. They weren't there.
Der Gärtner hat 3 Patentöchter.
The gardener has 3 goddaughters. The gardener has 3 goddaughters.
Es gibt keine Pfannkuchen im Kühlschrank.
There aren't any pancakes in the fridge. There aren't any pancakes in the fridge.
Es ist 5:30.
It is 5:30. It is 5:30.
Kannst du mir sagen, wo der Spielplatz ist?
Can you tell me where the playground is? Can you tell me where the playground is?
Wir haben ein paar Aprikosen gekauft.
We have bought a few apricots. We have bought a few apricots.
Sollte ich ein Geräusch hören, würde ich dich anrufen.
If I heard a noise, I would call you. If I heard a noise, I would call you.
Kevin liest viel.
Kevin reads a lot. Kevin reads a lot.
Ich habe in der Schublade nichts gefunden.
I didn't find anything in the drawer. I didn't find anything in the drawer.
Charles spricht kein fließendes Russisch.
Charles doesn't speak Russian fluently. Charles doesn't speak Russian fluently.
Sollen wir uns am Bahnhof treffen?
Should we meet at the train station? Should we meet at the train station?
Ich bin sicher, dass Real Madrid das Spiel gewinnen wird.
I'm sure that Real Madrid will win the game. I'm sure that Real Madrid will win the game.
Möchtest du mit mir kommen?
Do you want to come with me? Do you want to come with me?
Irgendwo in Europa.
Somewhere in Europe. Somewhere in Europe.
Wir brauchen die neuen.
We need the new ones. We need the new ones.
Ich habe es mit niemandem geteilt.
I didn't share it with anybody. I didn't share it with anybody.
Die Camper genossen das Lagerfeuer.
The campers enjoyed the bonfire. The campers enjoyed the bonfire.
Jessica rannte schnell zum Briefkasten.
Jessica ran quickly to the mailbox. Jessica ran quickly to the mailbox.
Ich habe als Kind Servietten gesammelt.
I used to collect napkins when I was a child. I used to collect napkins when I was a child.
Vor kurzem gab es 2 Unfälle.
There have been 2 accidents recently. There have been 2 accidents recently.
Wir könnten den Film zusammen sehen.
We could watch the movie together. We could watch the movie together.
Die Arbeit ist erledigt.
The job is done. The job is done.
Wie lange lernst du schon Deutsch?
How long have you been learning German? How long have you been learning German?
Sie haben gerade Ihre Präsentation beendet.
They have just finished their presentation. They have just finished their presentation.
Chelsea interessiert sich für diesen Dienstleistung.
Chelsea is interested in this service. Chelsea is interested in this service.
Das ist die beste Entscheidung.
This is the best decision. This is the best decision.
Dan Smith fuhr für eine Woche nach Kroatien.
Dan Smith went to Croatia for a week. Dan Smith went to Croatia for a week.
Denken Sie über die Farbe nach?
Are they thinking about the color? Are they thinking about the color?
Nichts ist perfekt.
Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect.
Wie ist dein neues Smartphone?
What is your new smartphone like? What is your new smartphone like?
Seit ich 18 war.
Since I was 18. Since I was 18.
Ja, ich stimme zu.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree.
Traditionelle ungarische Gerichte.
Traditional Hungarian meals. Traditional Hungarian meals.
Ich möchte keine Milch trinken.
I wouldn't like to drink any milk. I wouldn't like to drink any milk.
Die beliebtesten Sportarten.
The most popular sports. The most popular sports.
Ich muss mich beeilen.
I must hurry. I must hurry.
Hat er Kopfschmerzen?
Does he have a headache? Does he have a headache?
Die Gemälde wurden gestohlen.
The paintings have been stolen. The paintings have been stolen.
Was ist letztes Wochenende passiert?
What happened last weekend? What happened last weekend?
Susannas brauner Mantel ist unbequem.
Susan's brown coat is uncomfortable. Susan's brown coat is uncomfortable.
Du magst Eis, nicht wahr?
You like ice cream, don't you? You like ice cream, don't you?
Meine ältere Schwester und ihr Freund heiraten nächstes Wochenende.
My elder sister and her boyfriend are getting married next weekend. My elder sister and her boyfriend are getting married next weekend.
Er hat sich bei dem Unfall nicht verletzt.
He didn't hurt himself in the accident. He didn't hurt himself in the accident.
Dora lebt alleine.
Dora lives alone. Dora lives alone.
Wir hatten Spaß.
We enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed ourselves.
Ich glaube nicht, dass uns diese Regenschirme gehören.
I don't think those umbrellas are ours. I don't think those umbrellas are ours.
Zwei Wochen vor der Prüfung.
2 weeks before the exam. Two weeks before the exam.
Früh am Morgen.
Early in the morning. Early in the morning.
Im Norden.
In the north. In the north.
Der erste Platz ist der beste.
The first place is the best. The first place is the best.
Ihre Eltern gehen jeden Abend zur Arbeit.
Their parents go to work every evening. Their parents go to work every evening.
Für 8 Monate.
For 8 months. For 8 months.
Ich habe in der Speisekammer Pflaumen gefunden.
I found some plums in the pantry. I found some plums in the pantry.
Das ist das Restaurant, in dem ich mit Olivia zu Abend gegessen habe.
This is the restaurant where I had dinner with Olivia. This is the restaurant where I had dinner with Olivia.
Wann hast du Geburtstag?
When is your birthday? When is your birthday?
Isaac beschloss, spazieren zu gehen.
Isaac decided to go for a walk. Isaac decided to go for a walk.
Reist lieber mit dem Zug.
He prefers traveling by train. He prefers traveling by train.
Sie sagten, dass sie jeden Morgen ein Glas Apfelsaft getrunken haben.
They said that they drank a glass of apple juice every morning. They said that they drank a glass of apple juice every morning.
Unsere Freunde mieten eine Wohnung in der Innenstadt.
Our friends rent an apartment downtown. Our friends rent an apartment downtown.
Weißt du, wo ich die Milchprodukte finden kann?
Do you know where I can find the dairy products? Do you know where I can find the dairy products?
Das ist der Grund, warum ich glücklich bin.
This is the reason why I am happy. This is the reason why I am happy.
Ich mache nie den gleichen Fehler.
I never make the same mistake. I never make the same mistake.
Dieses Land ist voller interessanter Orte.
This country is full of interesting places. This country is full of interesting places.
Schüler nutzen manchmal das Internet zum Lernen.
Students sometimes use the internet for learning. Students sometimes use the internet for learning.
Wie weit ist die Kirche von hier entfernt?
How far is the church from here? How far is the church from here?
Das Messer, das ich ausgesucht habe.
The knife that I chose. The knife that I chose.
Während ich unterrichtete.
While I was teaching. While I was teaching.
Es war Samstag, als wir uns trafen.
It was Saturday when we met. It was Saturday when we met.
Was für Schuhe möchten Sie kaufen?
What kind of shoes do you want to buy? What kind of shoes do you want to buy?
Wir kommunizieren miteinander.
We communicate with each other. We communicate with each other.
Die Kinder hatten eine gute Zeit im Zoo.
The children had a good time at the zoo. The children had a good time at the zoo.
Ich erinnere mich nicht, wo ich das Rezept hingelegt habe.
I don't remember where I put the recipe. I don't remember where I put the recipe.
Emilia hat Angst vor Insekten.
Emily is afraid of insects. Emily is afraid of insects.
Sie reisen immer mit dem Auto ins Ausland.
They always travel abroad by car. They always travel abroad by car.
Ich konnte mich nicht im Fotoalbum finden.
I couldn't find myself in the photo album. I couldn't find myself in the photo album.
Kann ich dir ein Sandwich machen?
Can I make a sandwich for you? Can I make a sandwich for you?
Es gibt eine große Auswahl an Fernsehkanälen.
There's a wide choice of TV channels. There's a wide choice of TV channels.
Sie konzentrieren sich auf die Aufgabe.
They are concentrating on the task. They are concentrating on the task.
Haben Sie besondere Interessen?
Do you have any special interests? Do you have any special interests?
Hat ernsthafte Lernschwierigkeiten.
He has serious learning problems. He has serious learning problems.
Das Bild, das ich dir gezeigt habe.
The picture that I showed you. The picture that I showed you.
Sie luden einige Sänger zum Festival ein.
They invited some singers to the festival. They invited some singers to the festival.
Im Süden Griechenlands.
In the south of Greece. In the south of Greece.
Die Einheimischen, die wir getroffen haben, waren sehr gastfreundlich.
The locals we met were very hospitable. The locals we met were very hospitable.
Wenn ich mehr Geld verdienen würde, würde ich mehr reisen.
If I earned more money, I would travel more. If I earned more money, I would travel more.
Niemand war da, also ging ich nach Hause.
Nobody was there, so I walked home. Nobody was there, so I walked home.
Ich mag, was du geschrieben hast.
I like what you wrote. I like what you wrote.
Wie wäre es, wenn wir ein paar Kuchen für die Verlobungsfeier vorbereiteten?
How about preparing some cakes for the engagement party? How about preparing some cakes for the engagement party?
Ich hasse den Geruch von Kohl.
I hate the smell of cabbage. I hate the smell of cabbage.
Ich denke, diese Flugtickets gehören Ihnen.
I think these plane tickets are theirs. I think these plane tickets are theirs.
Niemand beschwerte sich über das Essen.
Nobody complained about the food. Nobody complained about the food.
Die meisten meiner Klassenkameraden lernen 2 Fremdsprachen.
Most of my classmates study 2 foreign languages. Most of my classmates study 2 foreign languages.
Unsere neuen Nachbarn sind äußerst freundliche Menschen.
Our new neighbors are extremely kind people. Our new neighbors are extremely kind people.
Im Osten.
In the east. In the east.
Mia und Lia verbringen ihre Winterferien in den Alpen.
Mia and Leah spend their winter holidays in the Alps. Mia and Leah spend their winter holidays in the Alps.
Während des Konzerts.
During the concert. During the concert.
Die Kunden, die drinnen warten.
The customers who are waiting inside. The customers who are waiting inside.
Bevor ich meine Hausaufgaben mache.
Before I start doing my homework. Before I start doing my homework.
Mitte Februar.
In the middle of February. In the middle of February.
Ich habe für 4 Jahre in Mailand gelebt.
I lived in Milan for 4 years. I lived in Milan for 4 years.
Warum stellt ihr euch nicht vor?
Why don't you introduce yourselves? Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Wasch die Früchte sorgfältig.
Wash the fruits carefully. Wash the fruits carefully.
Danke, dass du meinen Geschwistern geholfen hast.
Thank you for helping my siblings. Thank you for helping my siblings.
Meine Zwillingsbrüder können gut Gitarre spielen.
My twin brothers are good at playing the guitar. My twin brothers are good at playing the guitar.
Ich habe sehr viel zu tun.
I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of things to do.
Wo ist der Schlafsaal?
Where is the dormitory? Where is the dormitory?
Ich brauche nur ein bisschen Zucker für das Tiramisu.
I need just a little sugar for the tiramisu. I need just a little sugar for the tiramisu.
Die Vorteile des Reisens mit der Straßenbahn.
The advantages of traveling by tram. The advantages of traveling by tram.
Wir haben nicht viel Wein im Schrank.
We don't have much wine in the cupboard. We don't have much wine in the cupboard.
Audrey kommt nicht sehr oft nach Hause.
Audrey doesn't go home very often. Audrey doesn't go home very often.
Die Affen liefen fort und niemand fand sie.
The monkeys ran away and nobody found them. The monkeys ran away and nobody found them.
Es war der schwerste Tag meines Lebens.
It was the hardest day of my life. It was the hardest day of my life.
Ich denke, es ist eine ausgezeichnete Wahl.
I think it's an excellent choice. I think it's an excellent choice.
Wir sollten nicht so lange in der Kälte warten.
We shouldn't wait so long in the cold. We shouldn't wait so long in the cold.
Ich kenne ein gutes Restaurant in der Stadt.
I know a good place in town. I know a good place in town.
Als ich anfing, den Boden zu fegen.
As I began to sweep the floor. As I began to sweep the floor.
Wir reden miteinander über das Internet.
We talk to each other via the internet. We talk to each other via the internet.
Was ist, wenn wir zusammen einen Sprachkurs machen?
What about doing a language course together? What about doing a language course together?
Das Wasserballtraining war gestern Morgen sehr anstrengend.
The water polo training was very exhausting yesterday morning. The water polo training was very exhausting yesterday morning.
Ich lasse mir jeden Monat die Haare schneiden.
I have my hair cut every month. I have my hair cut every month.
Letzten Donnerstag hat ein neues SB-Warenhaus eröffnet.
A new hypermarket opened last Thursday. A new hypermarket opened last Thursday.
Diese Wassermelonen sind noch nicht reif.
Those watermelons aren't ripe yet. Those watermelons aren't ripe yet.
Ich habe mit ihm, seit wir die Mittelschule abgeschlossen haben, nicht mehr gesprochen.
I haven't spoken to him since we graduated from high school. I haven't spoken to him since we graduated from high school.
Ich habe mich an die hohen Stromrechnungen gewöhnt.
I got used to the high electricity bills. I got used to the high electricity bills.
Es ist das erste Mal, dass Sie geflogen sind.
It's the first time they have flown. It's the first time they have flown.
Das kleine Mädchen fiel von der Treppe.
The little girl fell off the stairs. The little girl fell off the stairs.
Julian hat am Montag seine Statistikprüfung bestanden.
Julian passed his statistics exam on Monday. Julian passed his statistics exam on Monday.
Wir tranken zu Silvester Champagner.
We drank champagne on New Year's Eve. We drank champagne on New Year's Eve.
Ich muss ein paar Karotten beim Gemüsehändler kaufen.
I have to buy some carrots at the greengrocer's. I have to buy some carrots at the greengrocer's.
Der Times Square ist ein bekannter Ort in New York.
Times Square is a well-known place in New York. Times Square is a well-known place in New York.
Natalie genießt Sightseeing, wenn sie im Urlaub ist.
Natalie enjoys sightseeing when she is on holiday. Natalie enjoys sightseeing when she is on holiday.
Sie haben sich lange nicht mehr gesehen.
They haven't seen each other for a long time. They haven't seen each other for a long time.
Das Grillen war heute Abend fantastisch.
The barbecue was fantastic tonight. The barbecue was fantastic tonight.
Es ist 10:04.
It is 10:04. It is 10:04.
Da ist etwas auf deinem linken Arm.
There is something on your left arm. There is something on your left arm.
Die Nachteile des öffentlichen Verkehrs.
The disadvantages of public transport. The disadvantages of public transport.
Wir bleiben über das Wochenende zu Hause.
We are staying at home for the weekend. We are staying at home for the weekend.
Joel ist im Backen hausgemachter Kekse sehr talentiert.
Joel is very talented at making homemade cookies. Joel is very talented at making homemade cookies.
Ich bin allergisch gegen Pollen.
I'm allergic to pollen. I'm allergic to pollen.
Mitten auf der Straße.
In the middle of the street. In the middle of the street.
Ich bin nicht sicher, dass ihr diese Handyhülle gehört.
I'm not sure that phone case is hers. I'm not sure that phone case is hers.
Einige meiner Kollegen.
Some of my colleagues. Some of my colleagues.
Vorgestern.
The day before yesterday. The day before yesterday.
Zwischen der Tankstelle und dem Floristen.
Between the gas station and the florist. Between the gas station and the florist.
Viermal im Jahr.
4 times a year. Four times a year.
Kann ich diese Gabel ausborgen?
Can I borrow this fork? Can I borrow this fork?
Im Westen.
In the west. In the west.
Meine Nichte geht es besser.
My niece is getting better. My niece is getting better.
Schenkt ihr euch gegenseitig Geschenke zu Weihnachten?
Do you give presents to each other at Christmas? Do you give presents to each other at Christmas?
Ich würde lieber Schinken und Eier auswählen.
I would rather choose ham and eggs. I would rather choose ham and eggs.
Meiner Meinung nach haben Sie recht.
In my opinion, they are right. In my opinion, they are right.
Die Angestellten gehen mittags immer in die Cafeteria.
The employees always go to the cafeteria at noon. The employees always go to the cafeteria at noon.
Die erfolgreichsten Lernmethoden.
The most successful learning methods. The most successful learning methods.
Ich glaube an Gott.
I believe in God. I believe in God.
Ich war alleine in den Niederlanden.
I went to the Netherlands alone. I went to the Netherlands alone.
Erzählen Sie mir von sich.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself.
Könntest du mir einen Rat geben?
Would you give me some advice? Would you give me some advice?
Im Allgemeinen können Männer nicht zwei Frauen haben.
In general, men can't have two wives. In general, men can't have two wives.
Zweimal pro Woche.
Twice a week. Twice a week.
Keiner der Direktoren.
Neither of the directors. Neither of the directors.
Wie hast du diese Panna Cotta zubereitet?
How did you prepare this panna cotta? How did you prepare this panna cotta?
Ich habe beide Haie gesehen.
I saw both sharks. I saw both sharks.
Eine Gruppe von Touristen.
A group of tourists. A group of tourists.
Die meisten Spielzeuge bestehen aus Kunststoff.
Most toys are made of plastic. Most toys are made of plastic.
Übermorgen.
The day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow.
Der südliche Teil von Dänemark.
The southern part of Denmark. The southern part of Denmark.
Zum Glück machen diese Kekse nicht dick.
Luckily, These cookies aren't fattening. Luckily, these cookies aren't fattening.
Deine Ideen sind viel besser als meine.
Your ideas are much better than mine. Your ideas are much better than mine.
Normalerweise trage ich Jeans mit einem T-Shirt.
I usually wear jeans with a t-shirt. I usually wear jeans with a t-shirt.
Die Tiere im Zoo verstehen sich gut.
The animals in the zoo get on well with each other. The animals in the zoo get on well with each other.
Nachdem ich zu Mittag gegessen habe.
After I had lunch. After I had lunch.
Es hängt vom Wetter ab.
It depends on the weather. It depends on the weather.
Was hältst du von meinem Rock?
What do you think of my skirt? What do you think of my skirt?
Das Essen in diesem Fastfood-Restaurant war schrecklich.
The food in that fast food restaurant was terrible. The food in that fast food restaurant was terrible.
Wir hatten eine wundervolle Aussicht von unserem Zimmer.
We had a wonderful view from our room. We had a wonderful view from our room.
Wir lernen selten neue Gesichter kennen.
We rarely get to know new faces. We rarely get to know new faces.
Sobald Molly nach Hause kommt.
As soon as Molly gets home. As soon as Molly gets home.
Möchtest du auf einen Bauernhof ziehen?
Would you like to move to a farm? Would you like to move to a farm?
Sie haben mich zuerst nicht erkannt.
They didn't recognize me at first. They didn't recognize me at first.
Ich wünschte, wir könnten mehr Zeit an diesem Ort verbringen.
I wish we could spend more time in this place. I wish we could spend more time in this place.
Viele meiner Schüler sind sehr fleißig.
Many of my students are very hardworking. Many of my students are very hardworking.
Die Passagiere haben ihren Flug verpasst.
The passengers missed their flight. The passengers missed their flight.
Darf ich eine Lederjacke kaufen?
May I buy a leather jacket? May I buy a leather jacket?
Vielleicht ist es nicht die beste Option.
Maybe it's not the best option. Maybe it's not the best option.
Am Ende des Spiels.
At the end of the game. At the end of the game.
Wir sollten uns mit den Kindern einen Film mit Untertiteln ansehen.
We should watch a subtitled film with the kids. We should watch a subtitled film with the kids.
Warum machst du kein Nickerchen?
Why don't you take a nap? Why don't you take a nap?
Die Wandfarbe.
The color of the walls. The color of the walls.
Ich würde lieber die Batterien wechseln.
I'd rather change the batteries. I'd rather change the batteries.
Könnten Sie die Kaffeemaschine reparieren?
Could you repair the coffee machine? Could you repair the coffee machine?
Nützliches Material herunterladen.
Download some useful material. Download some useful material.
Welches ist dein Lieblingsfernsehprogramm?
Which is your favorite TV program? Which is your favorite TV program?
Im Grunde mögen wir diesen Bereich.
Basically, we like this area. Basically, we like this area.
Louis lädt jeden Tag sein Telefon auf.
Louis charges his phone every single day. Louis charges his phone every single day.
Sie üben 5-mal pro Woche Klavier.
They practice the piano 5 times a week. They practice the piano 5 times a week.
Ich verspreche, ich werde pünktlich nach Hause kommen.
I promise I'll come home on time. I promise I'll come home on time.
Ihre britischen Gäste kamen um 10:30 an.
Their British guests arrived at 10:30. Their British guests arrived at 10:30.
Juliet schämt sich.
Juliet is ashamed of herself. Juliet is ashamed of herself.
Sie benutzt keinen Laptop für ihren Job.
She doesn't use a laptop for her job. She doesn't use a laptop for her job.
Mit Hilfe von meinem Computer.
With the help of my computer. With the help of my computer.
Die Freiwilligen waren sehr hilfreich.
The volunteers were very helpful. The volunteers were very helpful.
Eine Radtour um den Plattensee.
A bicycle trip around Lake Balaton. A bicycle trip around Lake Balaton.
Wir mussten wegen des dichten Nebels aufhören.
We had to stop because of the thick fog. We had to stop because of the thick fog.
Maria arbeitet als Spanisch-Übersetzerin.
Maria works as a Spanish translator. Maria works as a Spanish translator.
Bevor die Schüler den Kurs beginnen.
Before the students begin the course. Before the students begin the course.
Tschechisches Bier ist in Europa etwas ganz Besonderes.
Czech beer is quite special in Europe. Czech beer is quite special in Europe.
Hast du deinen Koffer gepackt?
Have you packed your suitcase? Have you packed your suitcase?
Ich weiß nicht viel über die Kultur Australiens.
I don't know much about the culture of Australia. I don't know much about the culture of Australia.
Es ist egal, welches du aussuchst.
It doesn't matter which one you choose. It doesn't matter which one you choose.
Es gibt zu viele Werbetafeln auf den Straßen.
There are too many billboards on the roads. There are too many billboards on the roads.
Ich habe einen Blumenstrauß von meinem Verlobten bekommen.
I got a bunch of flowers from my fiancé. I got a bunch of flowers from my fiancé.
Das Abendessen ist fertig.
The dinner is ready. The dinner is ready.
Bis sie die Räume lüften.
Until they air the rooms. Until they air the rooms.
Es ist nicht notwendig, jetzt das Gras zu schneiden.
It's not necessary to cut the grass now. It's not necessary to cut the grass now.
Im Hintergrund.
In the background. In the background.
Ich habe ein Zertifikat in Englisch auf mittlerem Niveau.
I have an English language intermediate level certificate. I have an English language intermediate level certificate.
Es ist nur unsere vorübergehende Adresse.
It is just our temporary address. It is just our temporary address.
Hast du dich gut genug auf diese Prüfung vorbereitet?
Did you prepare hard enough for this exam? Did you prepare hard enough for this exam?
Ohne meine Brille.
Without my glasses. Without my glasses.
Kinsley hat heute Morgen ein Paket bekommen.
Kinsley got a package this morning. Kinsley got a package this morning.
Mir ist heiß, also werde ich duschen.
I'm hot, so I'll take a shower. I'm hot, so I'll take a shower.
Warum machst du Witze?
Why are you joking? Why are you joking?
Du könntest leicht ein neues Auto kaufen.
You could easily buy a new car. You could easily buy a new car.
Fernbeziehungen können funktionieren.
Long-distance relationships can work. Long-distance relationships can work.
Ich hatte Kopfschmerzen am Nachmittag.
I had a headache in the afternoon. I had a headache in the afternoon.
Im Süden.
In the south. In the south.
Im Alter von 18 Jahren.
At the age of 18. At the age of 18.
Ich wünschte, wir hätten diese wertvolle Kette nicht verloren.
I wish we hadn't lost that valuable necklace. I wish we hadn't lost that valuable necklace.
Ich brauche ein Jahr, um einen Roman zu schreiben.
It takes me a year to write a novel. It takes me a year to write a novel.
Deutsche Schäferhunde sind energisch.
German Shepherd dogs are energetic. German Shepherd dogs are energetic.
Unsere Stadt ist die windigste des Landes.
Our city is the windiest in the country. Our city is the windiest in the country.
Wir verbrachten den Nachmittag an einem wunderschönen Sandstrand.
We spent the afternoon on a wonderful sandy beach. We spent the afternoon on a wonderful sandy beach.
Ich hebe immer den Müll vom Boden auf.
I always pick up the trash from the floor. I always pick up the trash from the floor.
Es ist ein minderwertiges Hemd.
It is a low-quality shirt. It is a low-quality shirt.
Einer von 10 Jungen.
1 in 10 boys. 1 in 10 boys.
Jugendliche bewegen sich nicht genug.
Teenagers don't exercise enough. Teenagers don't exercise enough.
Ich wünschte, wir hätten ihren Hochzeitstag nicht vergessen.
I wish we hadn't forgotten their wedding anniversary. I wish we hadn't forgotten their wedding anniversary.
Ellas Prüfungsergebnisse sind hervorragend.
Ella's exam results are outstanding. Ella's exam results are outstanding.
Ich habe den Perkins versprochen, mich um ihre Tochter zu kümmern.
I promised the Perkins to look after their daughter. I promised the Perkins to look after their daughter.
Mach dir keine Sorgen wegen der kaputten Teller.
Don't worry about the broken plates. Don't worry about the broken plates.
Viele Studenten haben Zeitmanagement-Probleme.
Lots of university students have time management problems. Lots of university students have time management problems.
Ich kann keine passende Jacke finden, die zu meiner Hose passt.
I can't find a suitable jacket to go with my pants. I can't find a suitable jacket to go with my pants.
Die bequemste Art zu reisen.
The most comfortable way of traveling. The most comfortable way of traveling.
In den Hauptverkehrszeiten.
In the rush hours. In the rush hours.
Wissenschaftler haben noch nicht das beste Heilmittel für Krebs gefunden.
Scientists haven't found the best cure for cancer yet. Scientists haven't found the best cure for cancer yet.
Wir konnten $6.000 sammeln.
We were able to raise $6,000. We were able to raise $6,000.
Eltern sollten ihre Kinder vor den meisten Gefahren schützen.
Parents should protect their children from most dangers. Parents should protect their children from most dangers.
Die Krankheit ist tödlich, aber sie haben ein Heilmittel dafür.
The disease is fatal, but they have a cure for it. The disease is fatal, but they have a cure for it.
Als ich aus der Bank kam.
As I was coming out of the bank. As I was coming out of the bank.
Die ganze Veranstaltung wird sich mit den Opfern des Krieges befassen.
The whole event will be about the victims of the war. The whole event will be about the victims of the war.
Kreta ist die größte Insel Griechenlands.
Crete is the largest island of Greece. Crete is the largest island of Greece.
Computerbildschirme können Ihre Augen verletzen.
Computer screens can hurt your eyes. Computer screens can hurt your eyes.
An Nierensteinen leiden.
Suffer from kidney stone. Suffer from kidney stone.
Wir sollten vorsichtiger sein.
We should be more careful. We should be more careful.
Es ist keine gute Idee, einen Kredit aufzunehmen.
It's not a good idea to take out a loan. It's not a good idea to take out a loan.
Ein Umzug kostet viel Geld.
Moving costs a lot of money. Moving costs a lot of money.
Der Arzt führte eine Herzoperation durch.
The doctor performed a heart surgery. The doctor performed a heart surgery.
Bienen stellen Honig her.
Bees produce honey. Bees produce honey.
Die Verwendung von Vollkornmehl.
The use of whole grain flour. The use of whole grain flour.
Zu Beginn des Fußballspiels.
At the beginning of the football game. At the beginning of the football game.
Ich habe einige Ersparnisse auf der Bank.
I have some savings in the bank. I have some savings in the bank.